Good evening and welcome to Undaunted, bringing into the news on church stories. I am Oyi Opala. Let's begin. The Ambazonian government continues to make strategic strides in its quest for sovereignty, leveraging global events and political dynamics to propel the movement closer to its ultimate goal. The liberation of Ambazonia. Over the weekend, the nation held a transition fund drive, a crucial initiative that garnered widespread support and marked a significant milestone in their journey towards self determination. With phase two raising over $20,000 and phase one previously amassing $50,000. The collective efforts of Ambazonians, both at home and in the diaspora, demonstrate unwavering commitment to their cause. At the heart of the weekend's activity was a stirring address by the Ambazonian president, whose words resonated deeply with the aspirations of the people. In his speech, the president called for unity, underscoring the power of love over hate, addressing internal divisions to foster a cohesive movement, encouraging humility, mutual respect, and a culture of constructive criticisms among leaders to do better, serve the collective cause. He emphasized that this struggle is not against fellow Ambazonians, but against the forces of oppression and injustice that have long plagued their nation. With Boyer as a symbolic epicenter of Ambazonians' liberation dream, the president reaffirmed his vision for a thriving Ambazonia, a nation free from colonial rule and systemic violence. This approach reflects a mature and strategic shift in the Ambazonian governance, recognizing their internal harmony is as vital as external advocacy and the fight for independence. The Transition Fund Drive exemplifies this strategy, uniting a global network of supporters to fuel the movement's infrastructure and humanitarian efforts. The president call for peace and unity, coupled with the movement's strategic vision, provides a beacon of hope for the Ambazonian people. As the nation prepares for its next phase of liberation, the message is clear. Ambazonians must remain united in their cause, resilient in the face of adversity, and unwavering in their belief that freedom is within reach. With momentum building and global awareness of their plight and growing, the path to Boyer, once seen as an untenable dream, now appears firmly within their grasp. The world watches as Ambazonia inches closer to realizing its destiny, a nation standing tall, free, and united. Let's get the prime headlines. Here are the prime headlines for tonight. Sadly, Amazonian community is in mourning after the death of some of the key commanders in Bamenda. On a lighter note, kidnapped 11 students and lecturers of St. Lawrence University Institute in Ndap have regained freedom after 14 days in captivity. Rights groups condemned the brutal execution of Mohfesam Smella by La Republic de Cameroon's army in Babawan, Ngokentuja County of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. President Saka says the fight for freedom is not against each other, but against enemies of Ambazonia. Meanwhile, on the African scene, Namibia's historic crossroad, a chance for its first female president. While Tesla chief Elon Musk is now the richest individual in history, is on the news across the globe. Now let's get the news in full briefings. Federal Republic of Ambazonia is in mourning following the death of two prominent leaders, General Weapon and Commandant Mami. They were unalived by agents of La Republic de Cameroon in Bamenda, the chief town of the Savannah zone of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The recent operation by military forces of La Republic de Cameroon in Bamenda has left the Ambazonian community and its defense forces, in particular, reeling General Weapon, who is a notorious commander of the Alabukan camp, and his lieutenant, Commander Mami, were ambushed and killed, marking a significant loss for the group. Reports indicate that General Weapon was shot in the forehead during their operation, with the La Republic de Cameroon's military agents recovering two vehicles previously used for kidnappings. This targeted action comes amid rising violence in the British Southern Cameroons, where kidnappings for ransom and attacks on civilians have become increasingly common. Three more fighters were neutralized in their Labukam while gathering to mourn the death of their leaders. Now, this brings the total number of fatalities to 5 within a single day, depending the sense of grip within the community. But of course, the ASA is always equipped to do just the right thing. Over the weekend, there was a need for the president to do something very significant. Let's get that.
Stand with Ambazonia. Empower ABC Amba TV. We are calling on Ambazonians around the world to unite and uplift ABC Amba TV, Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation. In this critical time of war, ensuring the station's survival is more important than ever. But what does ABC Amba TV truly represent for Ambazonia?
At the heart of Ambazonia's war of independence, ABC Amba TV stands as a beacon. Years of recolonization, annexation, and French Cameroon's oppressive occupation of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia have led to our exclusion. Our identity was hidden, our history distorted, our sovereignty denied. Queen of England is aware that the British Southern Cameroons were never a colony under France.
Since its inception in 2018, ABC Amba TV has been our lifeline.
Months of diplomacy have failed to resolve the crisis as fear grows over an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Our work in the dark is our chance to tell our stories to the world, to give voice to the voiceless and broadcast the truth of our struggle.
We are serious about executing this revolution.
It has become a vital arm of our government in wartime, making diplomacy achievable and showcasing our untold stories.
ABC Amba, you guys know how important ABC is for this, our quest for international recognition.
Your donations can make a world of difference. Every bit of support helps keep our stories alive, our presence known, and our fight in the global conversation.
The moment they notice that we are no longer on air, they think that, oh, maybe La Republic has succeeded. This is about Ambazonia. One thing we must always remember.
Where would we be without ABC Amba TV? Let's ensure we never have to find out.
A revolution is a temporary state of insanity to bring about sanity.
Mobilize, donate, stand with Ambazonia, donate to ABC Amba TV.
Together, let's write the next chapter of our history.
It is better to light the candle than to curse the dark.
Support ABC Amba TV campaign. Ambazonia Independence, voice for the voiceless. Mobilize for change.
You're welcome back. Well, over the weekend, the Transition Fund Drive made a great move. But we cannot talk about the Transition Fund Drive without the great words of the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Let's get a glimpse of that.
Our collective choices will determine the success of our struggle. Mistakes, disagreements, and misunderstandings are inevitable. but let us handle them constructively. When disagreements arise, let us resolve them without tearing down what we have built so far. Words more than actions can inflict lasting damage. Insults and divisive rhetorics serve only to fracture our unity. We must prioritize reconciliation, humility, and mutual respect. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission or Committee offers a vital opportunity to address grievances, uncover the truth, and foster healing within our ranks. Let us engage in this process as builders, not destroyers, and reaffirm our shared commitment to Ambazonia. Let us not dwell on insults and name calling. We are not on a campaign to push our personal enemies out of this government or struggle, or protect and promote our friends. Many on all sides wish I will fire this person or that person, saying one is unqualified while another is more qualified. But what qualifies a person to serve his or her country? There are three essential qualifications: availability, willingness, and commitment to the cause. There is no such thing as academic or professional credentials in a people's revolution. Let me remind all of us that we are a volunteer enterprise where everyone you see here joined the movement through voluntary enlistment. No one was interviewed for psychological, intellectual, or physical fitness. We are therefore a coalition of the excellent, the average, and the bad until we reach Boya. Let us stop comparing ourselves one with another, but let us complement each other. If I were to take the advice of some and fire everyone you hate, everyone you dislike, everyone who disagrees with you or with me, will the result strengthen or weaken our cause? Count the number and tell me how many you want banished. Numbers matter. A hand cannot function as effectively with one finger as it does with five. True or false? That's why when courts of law, even courts of law, consider divorce as a last resort, yet some of us in the Ambazonian struggle think divorce should be the first option. Now let us make divorce the first option and let us see how many marriages survive 1 month past the honeymoon. Yes, those who err must be firmly corrected on the issues without insults and lies. And those who are angry must not cross the line, because we must not down the plane mid-air when all of us are inside. That would be murder by suicide. If we think the best way to protect this struggle is to constantly tear down, how can we succeed? We don't run our homes like that. Why should we run Ambazonia like that?
The Ambazonian leadership has been tirelessly emphasizing the importance of unity and conflict management in the struggle for freedom. So, in recent gatherings in September and November, the president expressed heartfelt gratitude to attendees and stressed the need for humility, mutual respect, and constructive criticisms. The president's message is very significant, as it acknowledges that conflicts are inevitable, of course, even within families, right? But right after that, there is always reconciliation and bonding. But however, he urged leaders to avoid being biased and instead focus on their shared goals of achieving freedom. He reminded them that their struggle is a lifetime mission, yeah, requiring preservation, resilience, and most importantly, unity. The president also encouraged a ceasefire in all departments, emphasizing that love is more powerful than hate. He reminded everyone that the leadership is not, against each other. It's against the enemies that have been killing, oppressing Ambazonians. And so the significant part of this is that the ultimate goal is for Ambazonians to thrive until they reach power, which is the symbol of the struggle at the end of the day. So why struggle for irrelevant things? And so the three-step event, the transition plan outlined by the president, is a crucial step towards achieving this goal. The plan emphasizing the need for not just unity but conflict management and a ceasefire in all departments, which is also highlighting the importance of humility in leadership for everybody, including leaders and admins and all of that. Let's get more excerpts of the
Fellow
president's speech.
supporters of the Ambazonia government, first, allow me to express my heartfelt appreciation to all who participated in the transitional fundraising exercise last month. Your financial and moral support are a testament to your unwavering dedication to our restoration agenda. These contributions underpin the strategic operations agreed upon during our leadership strategic conferences in Washington in the month of September and again just recently in November. These gatherings were pivotal moments of drive and purpose, and your readiness to pilot the most strategic phase of our endeavor is commendable. I salute your wisdom, your resolve, and uncompromising dedication. Many of you spent your hard-earned money, even twice, traveled long distances at your own expense, and still gave selflessly to advance our cause. While I regret not being able to thank each and every one of you personally after this once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment, please know that I am immensely proud of you all. Your sacrifices rekindle the hope for a free Ambazonia in my heart and the hearts of countless many at home. Let me talk about the importance of unity and conflict management. As we navigate this revolutionary journey, let us remember the three gears of progress: the forward gear, stop gear, and the reverse gear. Each of us must reflect on which gear we are pressing right now. Are we advancing, pausing, or retreating? Our collective choices will determine the success of our struggle. Mistakes, disagreements, and misunderstandings are inevitable, but let us handle them constructively. Brothers may err, sisters may err, friends may hurt one another, and even families face conflict. Yet no one still in this house should be called a coup plotter. When disagreements arise, let us resolve them without tearing down what we have built so far. Words more than actions can inflict lasting damage. Insults and divisive rhetorics serve only to fracture our unity. We must prioritize reconciliation, humility, and mutual respect. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission or Committee offers a vital opportunity to address grievances, uncover the truth, and foster healing within our ranks. Let us engage in this process as builders, not destroyers, and reaffirm our shared commitment to Ambazonia. Let us not dwell on insults and name calling. We are not on a campaign to push our personal enemies out of this government or struggle, or protect and promote our friends.
Oh, well, I'm sure that by now the president message has resonated with many Ambazonians who are eager to see an end to, conflict and the achievement of this long sought independence. However, at this point, we must also scream out loud that the path ahead will not be easy. And the Ambazonian leadership will need to navigate many challenges and obstacles along the way. And so this is significantly important because these challenges are there. But the president's emphasis on unity, conflict management, and preservation and preservance has provided a sense of hope and optimism for the future. As Ambazonians continue to work towards their goal for independence, the need to remain united, focused, committed to achieve every dream and every goal is highly recommended. And at this point, I think that we here on Undaunted support every word from the president.
Stand with Ambazonia. Empower ABC Amba TV. We are calling on Ambazonians around the world to unite and uplift ABC Amba TV, Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation. In this critical time of war, ensuring the station's survival is more important than ever. But what does ABC Amba TV truly represent for Ambazonia?
At the heart of Ambazonia's war of independence, ABC Amba TV stands as a beacon. Years of recolonization, annexation, and French Cameroon's oppressive occupation of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia have led to our exclusion. Our identity was hidden, our history distorted, our sovereignty denied.
Queen of England is aware that the British Southern Cameroons were never a colony under France.
Since its inception in 2018, ABC Amba TV has been our lifeline.
Months of diplomacy have failed to resolve the crisis as fear grows over an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Our work in the dark is our chance to tell our stories to the world, to give voice to the voiceless, and broadcast the truth of our struggle.
We are serious about executing this revolution.
It has become a vital arm of our government in wartime, making diplomacy achievable and showcasing our untold stories.
ABC Amba, you guys know how important ABC is for this, our quest for international recognition.
Your donations can make a world of difference. Every bit of support helps keep our stories alive, our presence known, and our fight in the global conversation.
The moment they notice that we are no longer on air, they think that, oh, maybe La Republic has succeeded. This is about Ambazonia. One thing we must always remember.
Where would we be without ABC Amba TV? Let's ensure we never have to find out.
A revolution is a temporary state of insanity to bring about sanity.
Mobilize, donate, stand with Ambazonia, donate to ABC Amba TV.
Together, let's write the next chapter of our history.
It is better to light the candle than to curse the dark.
Support ABC Amba TV campaign. Ambazonia Independence, voice for the voiceless. Mobilize for change.
Oh, well, moving on, rights group condemned the brutal execution of Mohfesam Smella by La Republic du Cameroon Army in Baba Ward in Tujer County. The Coalition of Civil Society and Human Rights Organizations for Peace in Ambazonia has condemned what is termed the summary execution of Mohfesam Smella, a popular businessman and secondary school teacher in Baba Ward, Tujer County. According to organization, Mohfesam was killed by the colonial forces of occupation. The thugs, after the act, reportedly looted the shops of their victim and tortured unarmed civilians. The right groups affirmed that members of La Republic du Cameroon Army brutally assassinated Smella on Monday, November 11, 2024, in Baba 1, Mbeseha local government area of Tujer County. They reportedly forced him out of his house and tortured him alongside other villagers before killing him. The rights group stated before his death, he and other civilians endured severe acts of torture and inhumane treatment for several hours. The colonial military later took Mohfesam Smella away and they found his lifeless body shortly along the roadside around Government High School, GHS, then Gang Baba 1, with traces of bullet wounds on his body. The genocidal army reportedly seized huge sums of money and 3 mobile phones from the deceased. Among the mobile phones taken was that of his MTN mobile money transactions with a reasonable sum of money therein. That's what the group wrote. Smaller owned a shop bar and MTN mobile money transfer and withdrawal services. Condemning the gruesome acts by colonial army, the rights group called for an immediate, independent, and impartial investigation by the competent authority to arrest and prosecute perpetrators for their crimes. They also requested the international organizations and friendly nations to La Republic de Cameroon to persuade the La Republic de Cameroon colonial government to resolve the war in Ambazonia, which is 8 years and a country with severe human and material damages. While still moving on some of the atrocities, kidnapped 11 students and lecturers of St. Lawrence University Institute in Ndump have regained freedom after 14 days in captivity. 11 students and a lecturer of the St. Lawrence University Institute who were kidnapped but are still to be identified armed gangmen have been released after spending over 14 days in captivity. A press release dated November 19, 2024 from the Board of Trustees of St. Lawrence University Institute Ndop confirmed the release of the abducted students and staff. They were abducted at Baba 1, Ngokentuja County of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Well, according to a previous release dated 9th of November, signed by Dr. Oscar C. Lambang, president of the Lambang Education Foundation, the institution board of trustees announced that they were kidnapped in Babawan and led to the nearby bushes while the group was on board motorbikes en route to Babeti for an education outreach program in line with their studies. After the release, the school management assured the population that the students and staff are safe and the university community was relieved. But the institution did not state how their freedom was secured. Security in Ndop and other parts of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia remained a challenge since the start of the ongoing war, which had escalated, resulting in numerous kidnappings, killings, and destruction of properties. Well, let's get to the news across Africa. Oh, well, let's start with Namibia. Namibia's Vice President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah stands on the brink of making history as the nation's first female president, with elections scheduled for Wednesday. The context sees participation from 15 political parties with 1.4 million registered voters, nearly half the population set to decide the future of the country. Preliminary results from early polls for Namibian foreign missions, seamen, and security personnel show Nandi Ndaitwah and her party, the Southwest Africa People's Organization, SWAPO, leading the race. SWAPO, Namibia's ruling party since independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990, has faced growing disillusionment after losing its two-thirds parliamentary majority in 2019. This setback was attributed to scandals involving corruption and money laundering in the fishing sector, leading to the arrest of cabinet members and businessmen. Observers like Professor Henning Melber highlighted the need for SWAPO to address concerns of younger voters disconnected from the liberation struggle legacy. He wants that the party's declining legitimacy mirrors struggles faced by other African liberation movements like South Africa, African National Congress. Nandi Ndaitwah, 72 years, promises ambitious reforms, including creating over 5,000 jobs by investing 85 billion Namibian dollars, that is approximately $4.7 billion, in the next 5 years. Critics have dismissed these plans as overly optimistic. Women issues, including reproductive rights, equal pay, and healthcare, are expected to dominate voter concerns. Well, if elected, Nandi Ndatwa will join the ranks of pioneering African female leaders such as Liberia's Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Malawi's Joyce Banda. Political analysts like Erica Thomas urge her to prioritize transparency, accountability, and increased participation of women in governance. With challenges from the Independent Patriotic and Patriots for Change and the Affirmative Repositioning Party, the elections mark a pivotal moment for Namibia's democracy. This year, Southern Africa has seen seismic political shifts, with South Africa's ANC and Botswana's ruling party losing significant ground and Mauritius witnessing an opposition landslide. Should we see the Niger request EU's replacement? Tensions between Niger and the European Union escalated as Niger military-led government requested a replacement of EU Ambassador Salvador Pinto da Franca, citing unauthorized actions. The dispute centers on 1.3 million euros in flood relief funds distributed by the ambassador to NGOs without government approval. While the EU denies any wrongdoing, it recalled the convoy expressing profound disagreement. Niger's foreign ministry accused the Franca of persisting with unauthorized operation despite prior warnings and declared further collaboration unfeasible. Since June, Niger has faced devastating floods that claimed over 300 lives and displaced more than 1.1 million people. The government insists it did not request EU's assistance and pledged to handle the crisis independently. The strained relation stemmed from the border fallout following Niger's July 2023 military coup, which shifted the country away from France and its European allies. While this development underscores the widening rift between Niger and the EU in the post-coup political landscape. Let's see what's happening in Madagascar. Two boats capsized near Madagascar's coastline, resulting in the death of 24 passengers, most of whom were young Somalis, according to Somali official Foreign Minister Ahmed Mwalim Fiki, who confirmed that 46 people were rescued and efforts are underway to return survivors home safely. The intended destination of the boats remains unclear, but many young Somalis frequently undertake perilous journey abroad seeking better opportunities. A Somali delegation is set to travel to Madagascar on Monday to investigate the incident and provide support to survivors. Simultaneously, Somali ambassador to Morocco is probing another report involving Somali youth stranded along Morocco's coastline. While details about these separate incidents remain sparse, the tragedy highlights rising concerns over irregular migration from the horns of Africa as conflict and climate challenges force people to flee. In April, according to reports, a similar shipwreck near Djibouti claimed 38 lives, with migrants primarily from Somalia and Ethiopia. The incident reflects broader crisis flagged by the United Nations Migration Agency, emphasizing the growing dangers faced by migrants in their pursuit of better lives. And that's all for the news in Africa. Let's get the news across the globe. Well, news across the globe. In a remarkable turn of events, Tesla's stock has experienced a phenomenal surge, skyrocketing by 40% since the US presidential election. This unprecedented growth has not only sent shockwaves through the financial markets, but has also propelled Elon Musk's wealth to unprecedented heights. The most recent catalyst for this upward momentum was a 3.8 rise on Friday, which pushed Tesla shares to $352.50 $56, their highest value in over 3 years. This remarkable feat has added a staggering $7 billion to Mark's wealth, surpassing his previous record of $320.3 billion set during his last pandemic-driven boom in November 2021. Moxworth has been on a roller coaster ride with his net worth fluctuating widely in tandem with Tesla's stock price. However, this latest surge has cemented his position as one of the world's wealthiest individuals. As the CEO and largest shareholder of Tesla, Musk's fortunes are inextricably linked to the company's performance. Tesla's remarkable growth can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the company's innovative product strategy and growing demand for electric vehicles. The company's market capitalization has soared to $1.13 trillion with a price to earning ratio of 96.59. Well, despite the recent surge, Tesla's consensus rating remains on hold with 14 buy ratings. 16 analysts continues to closely monitor the company's performance. Well, as the electric vehicle market continues to evolve, Tesla's position as pioneer and leader in the industry remains unchallenged. Well, this position with Musk at the helm, the company is poised to continue to upward trajectory, driven by innovation, strategic expansion, and growing demands for sustainable energy solutions. Palestinians fear more evictions in the West Bank under Trump. So while where the high hills of the occupied West Bank tremble in the Jordan Valley, half a dozen heavy Israeli diggers pound the ancient stock around the Palestinian village of Badala. Low scurrying, rain-laden clouds threaten to soak a group of Palestinian farmers huddling around their ramshackle sheep shed as the Israel Defense Forces troops drive up to serve them eviction notices. 60 years old farmer Khalid Sawaftar has head swaddled in a traditional red and white caliphate. He tears in his eyes. His Israel other states vacate the land by 9 a.m. on December 4th, just 16 days away, or lose everything. Such evictions are common in the West Bank, according to the United Nations. But that's not all. There is a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah, and it's very close. A ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah is reportedly very close. Well, according to a regional source who spoke to CNN, this development comes as the death toll in Lebanon since mid-September has surpassed 3,000, highlighting the urgent need for a ceasefire agreement. The conflict has resulted in significant displacement, with approximately 96,000 individuals forced to leave their homes in northern Israel and over 1.4 million individuals displaced in Lebanon. Hezbollah has stated that it will not stop attacks against Israel until it ceases its military operation in Gaza. Despite the progress towards a ceasefire, U.S. and Israeli officials have cautioned that no final agreement has been reached and some issues still need to be addressed. A spokesperson for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu noted, "We are moving in this direction, but there are still some issues to address." Well, just like every other aspect of the world has one or two issues to address as well. Well, this is where we come to the end of tonight Undaunted. But before we go, let's take a look at the major highlights.